Hello, it's Saturday. It's 9 p.m. over here anyway, so it must mean it's time for the War Room Live, coming to you in glorious 720p. How is everybody? Everybody okay? I'm joined this week by good old Jester and our new co-presenter for this week, who's coming to see if he likes what we do. This is Nate, so say hello to Nate. And,
hello, everyone.
How you doing, Nate? Okay?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm all right. It's all the others. It's all the others. I'm fine. It's the others. Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll just have a quick see what you've been up to, and then when we get going, Nate, we'll be digging, scratching beneath that surface and find out a bit more about you.
Okay. I'm waiting with bated breath.
Okay, that'd be great. That'd be great. But Jester, how are you?
I am great. Having a good week. Busy. I actually got a couple things in. I got
Really?
Yeah, I know. Surprise. I got Second World War C, Eastern Fleet.
Oh, he's gone. Right. He's probably clicked the tab shut. So what I'll do, Nate, while we're waiting, we'll just say hi to everyone. There's Christoph. He did put a note on yesterday, so that's why it says tomorrow. We've got Demi. Hi everyone. We've got Steve, sunny Colorado. It's freezing over here. Freezing. Combat Commander. Hello there. Arkansas, or as most Brits say, Arkansas for some reason. David, Michigan. I'm feeling a bit isolated here, Charles. They're all from your side of the pond. Jeffrey, unless his blooming internet has gone down, God knows what we're going to do, mate.
It might have.
Yeah, no, don't know what we're going to do. Have to get somebody else on. Damn Tim, hiya. South Carolina, a bit breezy over there, and there he is. There's Mike, hiya. And another Mike. Hi, meandering Mike. We've got Nordic and William. Everybody's here. Edward. We have a very loyal following, Nate. Very loyal following.
Oh, very much.
Will GM, how you doing, sir? E4 Airman. Koyi. I've got somebody from my part of the world. That's all. That's good. I think that might be. You're getting yeah, didn't bump him. No, I don't know. He might have lost his bloody internet. That'll be fun, won't it? There's David saying, welcome to the War Room.
Hello.
And he's got an inch of snow as E4.
Cardboard commanded the show improved.
That's not nice. That's not nice, Carl. I'm saying nothing. But we've got Thomas, Historic Wings. There we go. And Camp Sawyer.
I think this is the time where we could start talking about errata as well.
Yeah. Or maybe have a rant about something.
Right.
Greetings. Well, I think that's everyone. I tell you what we'll do. He's probably had somebody's been digging a hole outside his house and they've gone through the power cables or something. So
right.
While we're waiting, why don't you tell us all about yourself? Introduce yourself to the chat, who you are, what YouTube channel and all that, and tell us all about it. Oh, look who's come back. Look, he's back.
I'm here. Don't ask. Just don't ask.
I was going to say, I think somebody pushed the reset button on your router or something. But anyway,
it's not your AT&T, was it?
No. Yes, we heard about the AT&T glitch. Half the US was down yesterday for a couple hours.
Oh yeah.
I
saw a picture of somebody had taken from the guy from Airplane that pulled the plug out. There it is, like provided by AT&T.
Well,
I did
that's
hear
cool.
as well that a lot of you guys over there have had trouble with what you call cell phones, what we call mobile phones over here. That they're getting they weren't working properly, so that might be something to do with the AT&T. I don't know. But anyway, I was going to ask Nate to introduce himself and let him have a chat about what he's doing. Let everybody know in the chat what you're all about, my friend.
Well, I appreciate it. So, like I said, my name's Nate, and I'm 34, and I have been now a school teacher for the last 12 years, and in that time, I've taught lots of history. I love teaching anything I can about history. My particular favorite is ancient Rome. I love ancient Rome. Love everything about ancient Rome. You see all the books behind me, at least one whole bookshelf is just all ancient Rome.
I used to have a bookshelf.
And well, I do have something here, Ruff, that you'll like, though. I do have the HMS Hood.
Ooh,
Bless it.
that's
God
fancy.
bless it.
But so I've been teaching for several years, and I came and did my master's degree about 6 years ago, and that's when I first learned about war games. I was a graduate student assistant, and I was invited for a Christmas party to one of the professor's house, and all the departments there, and I'm there, and one of the professors goes, "Y'all want to see my board game room?" I'm like, okay, sure. And at that point, the only thing that I really knew about war games was Axis and Allies. Other than that, I was playing war games on the computer. And so we go up to his war game room, and he's pulling out game after game after game. And game after game. And I'm just looking at him, oohing and ahhing, like, I can't believe these exist. And how long they've been around? Oh, they've been around for like 60 years. Where have I been? And so no sooner than I left the party, I went home and I found GMT's website. It just started looking, and I'll take that game and that game and that game. And then I found Compass, and then I found a bunch of other places. And in 6 years, I've racked up at least 100 games. And so far, I should say.
Yes, that's it. That's not going to stop there. All right.
Right. I mean, because you only need just one more game.
Exactly. Yeah.
And,
one more tactical game. Yes.
And so I try to have one out on my table at least once a week, having a game out to play just to fiddle with and think about. So this week, actually,
what have you got on the table at the moment then?
So I have this on the table.
Oh, that's
excellent game.
Proper game, that is.
Oh yes, excellent game. And
he's going to make us look bad, Ruff, I think.
Yeah, he plays proper games.
He plays a lot of games, and he plays mostly war games. So,
yeah, but you are into, because on your web page, on your YouTube channel, you can talk about that. It'd be great to let people know. You play lots of Euros. You do a comparison between war games and Euro games. Can they be friends and all that sort of thing?
Right. Yeah.
Well, don't worry, I've checked you out, mate. I've checked you out. So
I have there's a YouTube channel that me and a friend run called the Board Game Bunker, and we started that sometime last year. And I play more war games, and my friend plays more Euro games, and we thought it was a good thing to try and sit down and kind of discuss, can both of these worlds actually interact with one another and not be mad at one another all the time. It seems that sometimes I go online and see that some war gamers don't like Euro games and some Euro gamers don't like war games, and neither shall the two ever meet. And so we decided to start this to kind of explore that, and we've had a lot of fun so far. We'll see if we keep going. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you should get a few more, hopefully a few more subscribers. I've put up the @. Thing as they use now on
thank you.
YouTube.
Well, thank you, Ralph.
People can have a look at that. Hold on, where? There's Thomas. Yes, hello, Thomas. So yeah,
great. Great.
My non-war game.
That's one of the reasons we decided to go ahead and
there it is.
I did not know they went up that high, Ralph.
Yes, they have to. Yeah, that's all the non-war game stuff.
I mean,
apart from all my Final Girl stuff down the end there.
wasn't there supposed to be a room in your house where you
Don't you stop? You've been here 5 minutes, Nate. Don't you start having a go.
He's right.
He's right. But of course, Nate says he's been watching us since the early black and white, grainy black and white days when there were just the
Way
two
back
silent
when
films, yes.
Way back
Silent,
when
yeah.
we didn't have anything in our way. Our shelves and everything were just books and just wait a couple years, buddy.
Yeah.
Those shelves will not be books anymore. You're not going to have any room. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm a professional historian by trade, so like I'm doing a PhD in history, so these are necessary. and these are only what 3 of 6 in my house, so they keep growing.
He's got the little bubble again.
You're doing something.
It doesn't like every time you give it thumbs up, it's like
I can't make it work. It must be because I'm
right, thumbs up for myself then.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there we go again.
I can't give myself a thumbs up. Why is that? He's got some special internet or some camera or something. I don't know, something.
It might be something. There are another sub for you, Nate.
Look at that.
Well, thank you.
All right, so back to me because it's all about me. Who cares about Nate?
Of course.
All right. So I also picked up Second World Sea Midway.
Push that button again.
I also got Second World Sea Strike South. I don't know if you noticed the theme going on here. And I also got Combat Commander Mediterranean. And look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Because I can't wait on GMT to do what they're supposed to do and reprint these anymore. I can't wait anymore. But look at this. Holy crap. This thing it's like pristine condition. Never touched.
Wow.
Never touched. Oops. Where's the counters? There's the counters. Still, look at these counters. Like never pristine condition. And you know how much I got this for $85.
Is that good? I don't know.
It's like dirt cheap.
It's extremely cheap. Extremely cheap. For this, I don't think they sent me the right copy because I mean normally like a pristine condition like this is gonna be like $200.
Now, Jester, can I ask, have you played any of those Avalanche Press Second World War series at all?
No.
Okay.
Of course he hasn't.
Because I'm curious, because I like the naval theater is my like one of my favorites in World War II.
Yes, I have played it. Don't listen to Rolf. First of all, you should listen, not Rolf. Don't listen to me. But look at this. Look at this. Do you know what this is? No, you don't know what it is.
No.
This is their sequence of play for the combat, broken down into little cards, like
bit
like Stupid did for the RAF. Like there's 21 phases that you need to go through each combat round. So I made these little cards. So like number 1, determine which player has initiative. Number 2, the non-initiative player moves all of his group 2, 3, and 4 ships. And so I've got these now. Look at that, because I'm going to be doing some of this on the channel sometime soon. Look at this. Look at this. This is another one of these games, brand new, never before touched by human hands. Look at that.
Packed by monkeys. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
But then no, it's good because they're out.
That's what these are. And if they work well.
I mean, how many of them do you have now?
How many of what?
The Avalanche Press one. Like, how many are there?
How many different games in the series are there?
Yeah.
Loads, I think.
There's probably 20, 25.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I want to still get Bismarck. I want to get Coral Sea.
Yeah, but they're not very solo friendly, are they? The campaign bit.
If you're playing the campaign, they might not be solo friendly. But if you're doing the battles, which is more the interesting things that I'm interested in, is
that is.
Yeah, because I think I remember when you got, I think it was Leyte Golf that you got.
Leyte Golf, yes. So obviously they have like an operational map that you move your task force around and do all that, but they also have
That's it, the battle map, yes.
they have a bottom. Of course, it's at the bottom. They have a tactical battle map. So when your task force meets up, then you have a tactical battle. There we go. There we go. So then you put your ships on the battle map, and then you move them around, and you do the combat and everything. So,
see, I got spoiled with Atlantic Chase being one of my first naval games, and it's hard to go to anything else. Now, why do you hate it, Jester? Is it because of the wooden bits?
Well,
did you accidentally
with
dump the board on your table and they went everywhere?
No, I played with Boone Tweezers. He was teaching it to me, and basically, I don't know if it was a scenario we were played. I don't know what it was, but it was my ships were out in the ocean, and I had to get them back into port. And so I could either go up and around England, or I could cut through the straits. But of course, he put his ships in the straits. So if I was going to go there, he was going to catch me.
Sure.
So I decided to go around. And literally, it was like, okay, so I'm just moving because what else is there to do? Like, there's nothing to do. It wasn't. It was like playing Find the Needle in the Haystack.
That's it.
That's all it was. It was boring as all get out. Like, okay, are you going to catch me? No. Okay, I get to move.
I mean, who knows? Maybe it was just the scenario. Maybe if you tried a different one. I mean,
yeah, or the dice throwing or whatever.
Blue Tweezers, he doesn't teach you half the rules anyways. So
only when it suits him. Only when it suits him.
He waits till you could have done. You could move this ship, right?
I mean, that's how him and Ruff get their 10 games in for the year,
right? Yeah, that's right.
To answer Nordic's question, my main interest is the end of the Roman Empire. I did my master's thesis, and now I'm going to do my dissertation on Attila the Hun. So, in fact, my master's thesis is currently published online. It's called "The End Is Upon Us: Attila the Hun and the Christian Apocalypse."
Ooh,
this guy's like an official.
Wargame
historian.
Is he too clever? I don't know. This is it. It makes us look dumb.
It's gonna make us look like we don't know what we're doing, Ruff.
Well, I don't know about that.
Look at this, Stuka. Stuka, do you see Stuka? There's Stuka. Look at my card, Stuka. Right. So again, there's 21 phases. There's 21 phases in a combat round. There's 21 phases. So instead of like reading through the book and trying to figure out which phase you're on, I decided to steal Stuka idea. Right here it is in the book. Like, this is the rule book. Here's your phases, and you just go through all 21 steps, and then you start over and do all 21 steps again. And I thought, well, that's kind of dumb. Why don't I create cards like my good buddy Stuka Joe?
I hope there's no errata on the cards, though.
Don't wind him up, Nate. Don't wind him up.
I mean, you gotta have some fun.
Things I do don't have errata because, unlike some people, I check my stuff. Late Take Off is the only one I've not got. Yeah, because that's an expensive one. You're talking $300
That's the big box thing, isn't it?
It's a big box one. Yeah,
people won't sue you. I see, for stealing.
Have you tried this, Nate?
I have not. I have been
Ancient Civilizations in the Middle East one. Huh?
I've been curious about that one and the new Middle East one that he came out with.
But that's good because we can talk about that because the topic for today, hopefully we get round to it if we can get a word in edgeways. Jester, he's started already. Is that series games? Are you into them? Do you like them? If not, why not? And you've already mentioned one there with Great Battles of Great Battles of the Second World War? Is it called the one you've just shown us?
Second World War. It's the Second World War at sea.
That's what the other one is. Great Wars of the First World War or something, isn't it? They do that series as well. So yeah, we'll be talking about the series, and Are they really series? Some of them are they? Do people find them boring? Because if it's a proper series, I've got one rule book, and you know, so we're talking about that later on. What do you talk? Yes, that's yeah. EDG. Yeah, okay. So don't start. Okay, be quiet.
I mean, isn't that your favorite company? I mean, it's
my favorite game.
Yeah,
One of my favorite games.
yeah. Oof.
I mean, you'll be happy to know, Jester, I don't own a single game from them at all.
Oh,
I think
really?
you should. I think you should if you like.
I think you should do.
I
I don't mind the games. You just have to put up with the BS from getting them from the company. And
well,
the leaner series, especially now you play with your buddy, so you have a face-to-face buddy. But if you want to play solo, it's they have a lot of good solo games. You know.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I have to apologize. I don't own a single game from Lock and Load.
What? Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Uh-oh.
I mostly play more strategic and operational level.
Oh, right. You're not a tactical
I'm just starting to get into more tactical level games, so I will probably get to Lock and Load eventually. But I try to do is with all the games that I buy, I do at least try to play it once. And so I have a couple dozen backlog before I get there.
But you do have a shelf of shame then.
It's getting smaller, though. Yes, I have gone to answer that question. I have gone to Europe twice. Went to Italy some 12 years ago and went to Greece last year.
Wow.
So that was a lot of fun. My next one is...
We've got a lot of history over this part of the pond, I tell you. In my own country, and of course on that continent they call Europe. Fantastic.
My next goal is to come to Great Britain.
All right, when you do, Nate, we'll show you around. If you're anywhere near me, because people say they come to Britain and you know it's about the size.
You're only a couple-hour drive away. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my ultimate goals I would love to do is walk along Hadrian's Wall.
Oh, there you go.
That would be really neat. But
do you own Hadrian's Wall?
Well, I have a book called Hadrian's Wall.
And he's got the game. Have you got the game?
Game?
I don't. No, I don't have that game.
Okay, I didn't know if you knew there was a Hadrian's Wall. Okay.
Oh yeah,
it's a good solo game. It's great solo roll and write game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's obviously solitaire, but it's definitely a fun one. It'd be interesting to be there and see the actual Hadrian's Wall.
Oh yeah.
I'm down southeast near London. I'm in nudging distance of London, so that's where I am. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking with this sort of Michael Caine accent. It would be more sort of "Hey up, lads." Yorkshire.
That would drive me nuts. That would drive me nuts. Oh my god. So we should mention and talk about this.
Yes, that's why I'm waiting. That's why I went quiet, because I know that's what you wanted to talk about.
Get the elephant out of the room. We are still looking for, if you're interested in doing what Nate is doing, and you want to be part of the show permanently, and you have 2 hours every Saturday, or most every Saturday, for the rest of your life to donate to us, and you want to be a guest host for one episode, you need to get with us while we're still scheduling those, because sooner or later, me and Ruff are going to make our decision on what we're going to do moving forward. So if you want your opportunity, if you've been thinking about it, we've had several people that were thinking about it, and now they've chosen not to do it. We've had several people that have talked about being interested in it. So now is your time to make your decision, because we're not going to keep this position open for too much longer. If you want your opportunity to come in, just like Nate did. Nate emailed us, said, hey, I'm interested. I have a background and blah blah blah. I've been, hanging around the war room for 4 years. I also have a show with my buddy, and we talk about Euro games and war games and how they merge together. And I would love to be a co-host. And you have to basically sell yourself to us. Again, we don't think this is, the job. You're not applying for a full-time position. You're getting paid $1,000 a month or whatever.
I'm not. Oh.
No, you're not. Sorry. but we just want to find the right person. That's all. We just want to make sure that the person can be, pretty dedicated. Me and Ruff have been doing this a long time. We want to continue doing it, and we just
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's not wrong. He's not wrong.
It's yeah. I mean, putting up for Ruff is a life sentence. I mean, look at me. I used to have long black hair, so.
Look at me. I used to have golden hair all the way down my back, not on my head, just all the way down my back.
Back, yes, yeah. I got it.
British humor.
So how is so Nate? You play a lot of different war games. So what's kind of just in the last year or two, like one game that you played that you think, wow, this is a great game, and I should tell people about this game. I need to let people know that they should get this game because it is so good.
That's Atlantic Chase. It's got to be.
You would think, but it's actually not.
Ooh.
Oh.
It's out of print. It's from G&T. It is on the P500, but who knows? I mean, the end of time can come before we get it. Let me. I have it actually.
I like a man who's prepared.
Wow!
Really?
Valley. I love this game. Love this game because every game is different. And
that's how a game should be. Again, Ted's series. Is it a series or is it not? We can talk about that one as well.
Absolutely.
And on the back of that, isn't it Berlin, Barbarossa to Berlin is on the back of the map?
On one of the maps, yep. It's Barbarossa to Berlin, yep. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the cards or anything like that, so I can't play that. That's
died a death. That's died a death on P500 because he plays it and it looks really good and it came up on the P500, but it's not moving. No. So I don't think we're going to get much of that. Yeah.
It's on my.
It was supposed to be like
it's on my 10 games for 2024. My 10 games. Oh my God! Look at who it is. It's the old man. Yeah. So I'm actually going to be starting a series on this, so I can get my Hissy Cat. How you doing, buddy? So I can get my another one of my 10 games from 2024 in, because this is on my list. So what I thought I would do is like every Wednesday or Thursday, play like through one or two cards, just like.
Sure. I love the artwork for that game, especially on the front cover. Love the artwork.
I've not played it, so it's a little bit like Paths of Glory, but it's a Ted
area movements.
It's a Ted Racer game, isn't it?
Yep.
Again, yeah,
it's Ted Racer. Yes,
yeah. So it's based on the sort of Paths of Glory card.
Very similar, yes.
Yeah, CDG card-driven game, right? Okay. Yeah, I did order it, but
Yeah, I think this is one of these games. It was on my shelf of shame, and I'm like, put it on my list so I can play it.
And you've always said you liked it and all this.
I love the system. I think it's great. So I actually played this it's probably been 12 years ago. It's been a long time since I played it. So it was good back then. And I can't imagine it being great now.
I'm curious, Jester, about, I'm assuming that you're playing that solo.
Yes.
So how difficult do you find trying to two-hand it? And not have your brain go scatterbrained, on you.
The biggest problem I have is I don't have a problem with that. The problem I have is putting the board on the table and having it set up for 2 months, because it's going to take you 2 months to play it. So what I've decided to do this time is be smart, and I'll have the cards and dice myself, but I'm going to use Vassal for the map and the counters. And then I can save it in Vassal and then just save my cards, any cards that were played or whatever.
Okay.
And manage it that way. What did Tony say? I didn't get a chance to read that.
He's look.
He's thumbing us down.
Oh, nice.
But if you wish to try out the thumbs up button, because they're still having trouble with it, it'd be great if you could push it, because I need all the help I could get. So please push that thumbs up. Get me on the algorithm, so we can get the message out to more people. We've got nearly 60 people watching us. I mean, it's crazy,
Nate brings in the people. Nate,
well, to be fair, he brought in the people as well. I think that people come in out of curiosity to see what's going on. Maybe
see who this new person is.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe we just need to rotate somebody every week then.
Oh, no,
get a new person in every week. Again, if you're interested in the position, you want to try out 1 week, but you're dedicated, you want to do it full time, you need to email me by tomorrow. Otherwise, we're not going to be keeping this position open for too much longer. We want to get this done and over with. It's already been like a month. Tony might even come back by the time we find his replacement. Who knows?
Now, can you tell me if this is an insult or not? I don't know what he's talking about. Is that something? Oh, great! That's a thing.
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely.
Is it? Oh, all right. Thank you, Mandy, mate. Thank you. Yeah.
We're here for you, Ruff.
Yeah. We're trying to educate him with American stuff, and he's trying to educate us with European stuff. So it's been a good marriage so far. Well, we've learned about all of his things. We put up with all of his things.
Foibles is the word.
Yeah.
Well, Ruff, don't worry. I mean, I got my own knowledge of England with particularly like British humor, with like Keeping Up Appearances and Still Game and
Still Game. You need to watch that. That is a cracking series. Still Game.
Oh yeah. Or Are You Being Served?
Oh, that's a little bit not very PC nowadays.
No, definitely not.
Stuff, but it was good in its day. Hello, and all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we British humor is. I can't get American humor. People are laughing their heads off, and I'm going, what they're laughing at? It's not me. It must be me. Because I just can't get it.
It's
nice product.
It's definitely.
Oh yeah, yes. I moved that there specifically, Camp, so it goes after all these ones.
Did you get the new one, Rob?
Of course, I got the new one. I've done an unboxing and everything.
Oh yeah, that's probably right. I probably ignored that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're still not sure, Benny Hill. See,
I'm just not a big Panther. I had thought I seen some unboxings of it, and I think Kev did one, you did one, and I'm like, I watched them, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of stuff in this box. There's a lot of stuff in this box.
Of it. Yeah.
But I'm like, do I really need to have that in my life? What do you think, Nate?
Yeah, I was going to say, have you tried it?
I've not tried any of the Panzer games.
It's one of the most watched video series on my channel.
Really?
Apart from The Hunted.
Okay.
Or the Hunters, sorry. Yeah.
The only like tank specific game that I just got actually over Christmas time was American Tank Ace that I was interested to try. And that's actually my first Greg Smith game as well to try. And because I've watched The Hunters, and it looks really interesting. I'm just curious of when it's sitting in front of me of whether or not that level of sort of abstraction and not exactly seeing everything on in front of you, and whether I'll like that or not.
To be fair, the early, like the Hunters and the Hunted, and to a certain extent, Silent Victory and Beneath the Med, you're at the mercy of the dice. It's dice driven. There's no real sort of things to decide upon.
And there's certain times where I'm really interested in dice chuckers and just throwing a bunch of dice, just having.
You don't have to think to play it.
There's some games,
but let's be honest. The whole aspect of the system is to get you're rolling dice, you're looking at a chart, and you're getting a result, which is very dry. And the game, a lot of people that don't like it find that very monotonous and very dry. The only way to really get into the system is to storytell what had actually happened. When you have a fighter come in and you're able to shoot that fighter on the sky for a reason, that's the moment. It's sure you're just rolling on a chart and you're looking it up, but getting those moments happen and visualize it is kind
in
of
your mind. You've got that scene from U-Boot where the plane comes down and alarm, and they're trying to shoot and rushing back down. Yeah, it's crash diving. So you've got to create the theater of the mind, as they call it, I think.
I mean, one of the things that I look for specifically is also where, like, I like to play a lot of solo games, but also 2-player games solo. And I like to feel that I'm making progress and actually visualizing that progress. So, like, one of the reasons I really liked Atlantic Chase was that when you put the trajectories on the board, then you actually are picking pieces up and moving them. So you can kind of see it in your head that I'm actually making progress across the Atlantic.
Or are you? Have we got our information wrong? Are we back there when we think we are there? That's what I love about it. It's got the whole, it reminds me of Sink the Bismarck film, where you see their big map and they're trying to find it, and they've got ideas where it is, but it couldn't be. Yeah, I know it's not for everyone. It's just great, just great. I must play it again.
I'm very much looking forward to Pacific Chase whenever that comes out.
That will be fun. Have
you played Atlantic Chase with somebody else, or did you play the solo scenarios?
Yes, both.
Oh, you played both. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you find it better solo, or did you find it better with somebody else?
So I played with 2 different people, 2 non-war gamers that was their first war game that I introduced them to. And they both liked it. One of them had the similar response that you had, Jester. And we played the same scenario that you and Blue Tweezers did. And he had the same exact response that you had. The other guy I played with, he liked it. We played it about 2 or 3 times, the same scenario. And he really didn't like a lot of the dice chucking. He thought it was a little too much dice chucking. But he understood what the game's trying to model. For me and solo, I didn't mind dice chucking a lot. And I really liked the charts that you're rolling on, because you never quite know what the enemy is going to do. And it really keeps you on your toes. And I've had multiple times where I've gotten crushed by somehow this table.
And you're trying to intercept the trajectory, thinking you're going to get there in time, but when you throw your dice, it's already gone. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I mean, to be fair, talking about Greg Smith games, I mean, the early games, they are just throw a die, look it up on the table. Whereas the later ones, like the Tank Ace and the Western Front Ace and the other ones, there's a bit more involvement, a bit more. Sort of
I just clipped American Tank Ace recently. Yeah. So
here's a good quote from Benny Hill. That's British humor.
Oh yeah.
Is that what that is? Okay.
That's what it is. Yeah.
All right. That's interesting.
What I'm going to do now, if that's all right, because we've been going for 40 minutes. Yes, 60 people brilliantly watching us. I'll do the history, get that out of the way, because there's some interesting stuff. And then if you want to do your Jester's Jeopardy, well, Have you thought of anything you'd like to? I know there's no pressure, Nate, but have you thought the war?
Sure.
I could do this tonight. No, yes, no,
Oh,
no. See, all right, no worries.
Oh, believe me. I mean, as a school teacher, I come up with something real quick.
Well, if you want to. If you want to, if not,
I'll let you go through your history section, and then I'll have something afterwards.
Yeah. Or before I do that, I know this is not wargaming stuff, but what I'll do is just share this because I play other games. Let's see if this works anyway. Share the screen. There we are. I like a bit of Eon's End, you see. We don't want him on there. There we are. We don't want Ian. There we are. The Descent is the new standalone Eon's End. Have you played that, Nate?
I have not, no.
It's a deck building game. It's good fun. And I know Jester plays it. Phoenix Knight, who's on the show, comes in the show. He plays it as well. So for those that are interested in Eon's End, there's 5 days left to do it, to back it. So there we go.
There you go.
I've got to try and get rid of.
Do I back it, Ruff? Do I? What do you think?
I don't know. I have, because if there's a mat you could get as well with it. So
I love my Eon's End, man.
Yeah,
I have it all. I got everything, but do I need it? I don't need anything else, but
no. And I thought, it took me a day or two to think about it, but I thought, I know, but it's going to cost more. And you won't be able to get things like the mat. There's a couple of expansions that you won't be able to get retail only with this game fan. But I thought I'd put it up there, and how do we get rid of that? Stop sharing. Right, there we go. So getting the hang of this. So what I'll do now is I'll do the old history malarkey. Bit of a mishmash this week. Weirdly, I had to sort of search around for things. But of course, it's the 24th of February. And the first one I've got, of course, is 1303. That's a long time ago. Over here, the Battle of Roslin. It was a battle of the First War of Scottish independence. The war itself lasted from the invasion by England in 1296 until the legal restoration of Scottish independence with the Treaty of Edinburgh, Northampton in 1328. Unfortunately, it is not included in one of my favourite games, which could be a series. The Old Men of Iron. It's not in there. So that's 1303. Then we jump right forward to 1898. Couldn't find anything else that would be of interest. But a chap called Kurt Tank, a German aeronautical engineer and test pilot, was born today. He actually died in 1983. Kurt Tank was a resourceful German aeronautical engineer and test pilot, heading the design department of Focke-Wulf from 31 to 45. He designed several important aircraft of World War II, including the Focke-Wulf FW-190 fighter aircraft. So he was born today. Whizzing forward a bit more to 1917, World War I, the US Ambassador Walter Hines Page to the United Kingdom is given the Zimmermann telegram, in which Germany pledges to ensure the return of New Mexico, Texas, and Arizona to Mexico if Mexico declares war on the United States. So he's trying to incentivize Mexico to join the war with Germany so he could give it back, all this stuff to them. Didn't work out, though. And then 1920, the Yahtzee party, because I can't say what it is, because we'll get cut off the air. But the NSDAP was founded by Adolf Hitler in the Hofbrauhaus beer hall in Munich, Germany today. It was something else. I think it was the German Socialist Party or Workers' Party.
Correct.
And he turned it into the Yahtzee, that well-known dice game party. So that happened today. And then 1941, the Avro Manchester, the sister plane to the Lancaster, bomber makes its combat debut in a Royal Air Force Bomber Command raid on Brest in France. And then 1942, the Battle of Los Angeles. A false alarm led to an anti-aircraft barrage that lasted into the early hours of February 25th. This Battle of Los Angeles, also known as the Great Los Angeles Air Raid, is the name given by contemporary sources to a rumored attack on the continental United States by Imperial Japan and the subsequent anti-aircraft artillery barrage, which took place from late 24th of February to the early 25th of February 1942 over Los Angeles in California. The incident occurred less than 3 months after the US entered World War II in response to the Imperial Japanese Navy's surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, and one day after the bombardment of Elwood near Santa Barbara on the 23rd of February. Initially, the target of the aerial barrage was thought to be an attacking force from Japan, but speaking at a press conference shortly afterwards, Secretary of the Navy Frank Knox called the purported attack a false alarm. Newspapers of the time published a number of reports and speculations of a cover-up to conceal an actual invasion by enemy airplanes. However, when documenting the incident in 1949, the United States Coast Artillery Association identified a meteorological balloon sent aloft at 1 a.m. as having started all the shooting, and concluded that once firing started, imagination created all kinds of targets in the sky and everyone joined in. In 1983, the US Office of Air Force History attributed the event to a case of war nerves triggered by a lost weather balloon and exasperated by stray flares and shell bursts from adjoining batteries. As an example of incompetence, the incident was derisively referred to as the Battle of Los Angeles, or the Great Los Angeles Air Raid, which I thought was quite funny. Just picture people panicking, just shooting at nothing in the sea. He's shooting, I'm shooting as well. 1968, though, a bit more serious. Vietnam War. The Tet Offensive is halted. South Vietnamese forces led by No Quang Chua recaptured the citadel of Hue and ended the North Vietnamese offensive in Tet. 1991, last thing, ground troops cross the Saudi Arabian border and enter Iraq, thus beginning the ground phase of the war. The US-led coalition ground attack against the Iraqi forces in Kuwait begins today, as I just mentioned. In its first hours, 60 US State Army UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters carry the 1st Brigade of the 101st Airborne Division air assault 75 miles inside Iraq, where the brigade seizes a forward operating base. The brigade's sudden appearance unnerves Iraqi defenders so badly that they surrender quickly, with some surrendering to helicopters before the American troops begin to land. That's what I like to hear. God bless America. That's today, 24th of February.
Wow.
There we go.
That's some good stuff today.
Yeah.
I think, Ruff, just keep in mind that your reign of terror in doing the History Channel might be in jeopardy if we get the history teacher coming on board.
Mm.
Well, Ruff, I was going to say that I think at the Battle of Los Angeles that later on some people thought that it was UFOs that came and landed.
Yeah, because it was that time, in the 40s, 50s that, yes, everything was a UFO.
So yeah, Nate, we don't expect anything today, but going forward, we like to have everyone involved in the show and blah blah blah.
Sure.
I like to do my Jester's Jeopardy. I'm thinking of a game, Nate. We're gonna find out how good you are.
Right.
Oh, I hate
All right.
this.
Go ahead, give us a guess, Nate.
Second World War at Sea from Avalanche Press.
Is it? No. Sorry. Rob?
Oh.
The record is 7, by the way, which happens to be from a guest host that came on one show, Patrick Pence. I love that guy, by the way.
Oh.
He was a guest host one afternoon because Tony couldn't make it, and 7 guesses in. Ruff was no help, by the way. He
I'm
got it.
rubbish at this. Yeah. As you know, if you've watched the show, yeah. Although we did have a good one last week. Or was it the week before? No, Tony's last show, we had a good one, didn't we?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You guys
Go
did
ahead, Ruff.
pretty good.
Mine was just a throwaway, just as a joke.
Yeah, but he's counted it. Look.
I count it. I don't mess around.
He doesn't. It's no quarter given. No quarter given.
Go, Ruff, go.
Right. Is it after all right, is it set during the Second World War? Let's get that out of the way.
A negative.
Right, okay.
Is it set during before the 20th century?
That would be before 1900?
Correct.
No.
Okay. So, Ruff, it's somewhere between
1900 and, well, it could be, it's not, in missing out 39:45, it could be, although he doesn't normally do stuff after 45, must be fair.
Right.
Although that could be a first. He
Could
tends to
be.
try and catch us out, you see.
Trying to catch you out.
It could be either World War I era or interwar years or Cold War.
Yeah. But
So,
thinking back, he hasn't done a lot of Cold War gone hot or stuff, next war stuff. But let's say, okay, is it the First World War?
Is it centered around the First World War? No.
So it's not set between 1914 and 1918 then?
Okay. All right. I'm going to presume that this is set after World War II during the Cold War.
What years? Give them years.
After 1945 to 1991.
Are you asking? Is that a question? Sorry.
Yes, that is a question.
So is it between 1945 and
1991?
And 1991? Yes.
The Cold War.
So it's between 1945 and 1991. Yes.
Yeah, but we've got the Korean, Vietnam.
There is Desert Storm.
I did mention that. In my history malarkey. Storm in Norman, Blackhead, which is Schwarzkopf. How fancy having a name, Norman Blackhead? I mean, that's not nice, is it?
Not at all.
Soldier. Yeah.
How do you want to go about this, Ruff?
Well, it could be the Falklands, it could be the Korean, could be the Vietnam.
Because I'm thinking the newest, at least in the newest thing I had heard of Cold War games was Red Strike, recently from VUCA.
You mean this thing?
Oh.
This thing.
I'm jealous.
The size of that, look.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't even opened it yet. I'm frightened. Is it all right? We'll go. Is it set during the 80s?
Actually, yes, it is set in the 80s.
Right. Could be on something, Nate.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, there's a couple.
Because I'm frightened to open it, Hissy. I'm frightened.
Is this game from Lock and Load Publishing?
No, it's not from Lock and Load Publishing.
Okay, answers my question.
Is it from VUCA Simulations?
No, it is not from VUCA Simulations either.
Is it from Compass?
He's having to look it up. That's good. That could be good.
Well, here's the thing. They list many different publishers. So According to the Board Game Geek,
Oh.
Compass is not on the list of publishers. No.
So it's an old game that's been republished. Is that what we're thinking here?
Could be NATO or Bruce Maxwell
Or Third World War?
or Third World War from Frank Chadwick. Yeah. Whose turn is it? I can't remember.
It's mine, I think.
It's Ruff's
mine.
turn. Yeah. it's Ruff's
Sorry.
turn.
Is it NATO?
Is it the game NATO?
NATO, yeah, it's called NATO, yeah.
No, it's not the game NATO.
Is it the game The Third World War?
By GDW.
No.
Shit. Oh, sorry. Just got us demonetized there.
Because you were making a lot of money on this video? Is that what you're doing here?
No, I'm just saying, no, it's a joke when we say we get demonetized because we don't make any money
know,
on this.
I know. I'm just
All
kidding.
right, I gotta go to BGG now.
Is it set? No, yes, is it? Yeah, is it? Yeah, could it be? We've got to get a publisher, I suppose.
Should I go look at the chat and see if they're cheating again? Giving you guys.
I do like the chat. They're great. They do help me out.
If it wasn't for the chat,
we wouldn't get
half
anything.
the time Ruff wouldn't get it. So.
No, and that's why I love the chat. And there's nothing they could do about it. Oh, yeah, but has Fortress America been reprinted? That's the thing.
I don't think so. No. Rough it.
Is it?
There is from GMT. There's 1989 Dawn of Freedom.
Yeah, but that's not. Is that a reprint of an old Avalon Hill or SPI game? I don't think so.
No, I don't believe so.
And I can't think of any older Falklands games because it wasn't hot. You know, over here it was, but for American publishers, it wasn't a hot war.
Well, at least we know it's not colonial twilight with Algiers and Algeria. So,
yeah, which one? Yeah,
that's true.
Don't quite.
Ruff, I think it's your guess.
I know. Is it? So it's. I don't know. Is it originally published by Avalon Hill?
No, it's not originally published by Avalon Hill. No.
Okay.
I think you're looking too much into that question and answer about publishers and got this idea that it's an older game. It doesn't mean it's an older game just because multiple publishers are listed. It could be one publisher's in the US, one publisher's elsewhere, type of deal.
Right. Okay.
Is it GMT?
That is usually the greatest question because I'm 90% GMT, and then you know that right off the bat.
Correct.
But no, it is not GMT this time.
Is it a White Dogs game?
Is it a White Dog? It is a White Dog game, actually.
Is it Gorbachev?
No, it's not Gorbachev.
Oh, okay.
Is it Mrs. Thatcher's War?
Yes,
Oh.
it is Mrs. Thatcher's War.
Oh,
wow! It took a lot of guesses to get that.
Yeah, we weren't on
I'm
top.
sharing my screen, Ralph, so you can.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm.
There it is, Mrs. Thatcher's War, 1982. From
Great game, by the way. Great game.
And the reason because it says +3. If you look at the +3, Bananas Games, Banzai Games, and Headquarter Games. Never heard of any of those. So
No, Japanese. The Banzai.
But I had to look because it says +3 more up here. So I'm like, well, who else published this? So sometimes that asking questions can throw you off a little bit.
Yes, and I'm thinking, it's been republished from 1980.
Yeah, you're thinking of an old game.
That's what I thought.
It just came out in 2017.
And
yes, and a great game it is.
I've yet to play it. I really want to get that at some point soon.
Great game.
I played one of the other games in that series that Ben Madison made.
I was waiting for someone to ask if Ruff owns this game because that's usually a good question they ask.
Yeah, I should have.
And I was thinking you did, but I wasn't 100% sure. I thought you
did a playthrough of it. Uncle Tony sent it to me. Do you remember? Many moons ago, he sent it to me as a gift.
Oh, that was nice. No.
Yeah.
I noticed you never played any of the ones I sent you, but that's all right.
I have, but not online.
Just kidding. I'm just
want the world to see.
I've played what do we call it? Tiger Leader.
Yeah. Would you like it?
Yeah. It's a leader game. It's fun. It's nonsense. It's just good fun. So
were all the cards the same color?
I don't care. I'm colorblind.
Oh, okay, that's true.
Yeah, he can't tell. What, are you kidding me?
They're all sort of mushy color.
It's like this is like DVG. Here's our color. Here's our cards. Here they are. See?
Thank you, Cam. Thank you.
Again, if you're interested in joining us for a tryout because you want to become our new co-host and take over for Tony, you have till tomorrow to email us and get interested in this because we're not going to be doing this for a year trying to find somebody. We've got some great candidates so far. And, we're going to give everyone a fair and equal chance. And we're going to be upfront with everyone and let you guys know we don't want any hard feelings. And again, just because you weren't chosen to become the co-host doesn't mean we won't have you back. We're going to need, there's been plenty of times where Blue Dweezer's taken over because me and Tony couldn't make it. So we're going to need a replacement every once in a while. So,
well, I tell you, gentlemen, I have been very excited to be part of this and just very appreciative that you let me come on today.
No, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Yes. And you seem like you know a lot about what's going on and a lot of the history of the show and what had happened. You know that I don't know the difference between Algiers and Algeria. You know that Ruff doesn't know how to get out of France with Rommel.
Or like I told you before we went online here that I was curious whether or not you wanted me to say the word "so" all the time, since Tony did as well.
So,
God,
I'm so glad that I don't have to deal with that anymore. You are well spoken, sir. I will just say that. It's very nice. And for a teacher, you teach history, right? Is that what you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're very well spoken. Obviously, very educated. Your background, your history, your knowledge, and everything, excellent. So, thank you so much for joining us today, for sure.
Well, I appreciate it.
So we've done everything. Maybe we should have a chat about the topic now. We've got just under an hour rather.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Anything? Unless you wanted to mention anything, Jester?
Tonight I was going to be playing the Plum Island Horror.
Oh, I'm doing
that. I posted on our Facebook group that if you are interested to join up, let me know if you're interested because we've got special permission from Herman Lutman. You know Herman? Nate, you know Herman? Okay. He's given us special permission to play test a scenario, but I posted it. Nobody replied that they were interested in playing tonight. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing that because I'm not going to be doing the scenario by myself. So maybe we'll schedule it for another time.
I think isn't the Plum Island Horror already out of print right now?
Oh no, they found a couple of boxes of it, a few boxes.
Oh, they did. Okay,
I think so. But that's it. Once it's gone, it's gone. It's gone. But I'm glad I got mine. So
it's a great game. I love it. It's they already got.
I believe both of you have a cameo in it, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the War Room does. The War Room.
Yes,
the War Room does. We specifically, Jester. I'm still going for a Jester token, but Herman keeps fighting against it. But
no, I'm lucky. I've actually got my own token. One of Thomas's.
I was just going to mention that you're already in the game, Ron.
I've already got a pilot token called Ruff, and it's brilliant and it's wonderful. And I think Tony, when he did his playthrough, I haven't watched it all yet. Did his Mag 23 playthrough with Thomas, the designer. I was CO, and but he called him my name, Dean Taylor, and I crashed before I took off.
Well,
which
I
is
mean,
typical.
well, yeah, you and your yellow tank.
Yeah. And submarine. Yeah, it was all. See, I love yellow. You know, it's a color I can see very easily. So yeah, unfortunately, so everybody else can. That's the problem.
Now, I will be curious, Ruff, to see whether or not, there's Mr. President, if that becomes a series, speaking of our topic, and maybe there's a British version and you could be the prime minister.
Well, there is a British version.
Well, there is, but it's Victorian.
But it's Victorian because it's simpler because of the. See,
Right.
you've got the two parties, main parties, Republicans and Democrats. We've got them coming out. We've got Conservative Labour. We've got Reform. We've got the Raving Loony Party. We've got this. We've got that. Liberals. We've got loads. So it's going to be a little more difficult. But set in the simpler days of. There is a bit of crossover as well because the times it was spent. I don't think some of the part anyway. But it's you're quite right. I don't think it might be quite impossible to do a Mr. President or Mr. Prime Minister because of the plethora of loony parties we've got over here.
It would be interesting, I think, try to see if there's a way to figure out how to incorporate like the Commons and the Lords and how how chaotic, particularly Prime Minister's questions every week. Yeah,
that's I think they rue the day they allowed the cameras in there because and some people say the House of Lords, it's this very privileged thing. People do something, support the government, or become an ex-member of the cabinet and get their lordship and sit in the House of Commons, House of Lords. It's detested because in the House of Commons, it's not called the House of Lords; it's called that other place.
Right.
So
there's someone gets kicked upstairs.
Yeah, and they've got red leather on their seats as opposed to the green in the House of Commons. But yeah, their job is to stymie, in theory, any loony acts that the government try to put through. They're the sort of last bastion of reason, but it doesn't seem to work like that. I think, like most things in politics, where there's a buck, there's a way of bucking the system. So, you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so it'd be very difficult whether or not that could become a series. However, there are many series. And do you have any series that you own, Nate?
Oh, me? I pulled plenty out to bring, so.
Oh, you do? Well, that's great. Let's have a look. We can have a chat about them.
Okay. Well, so.
Let's start here. What's your favorite series?
That'll be the first one he pulled out.
One that I've already pulled out before, actually. The Dark Series.
Okay. And why is that your favorite?
So my favorite types of games I've mentioned before is more strategic and operational. And the Dark Series is more operational level warfare, World War II. And my first Hex Encounter war game was the Dark Sands.
Yeah.
And then I got the Dark Valley. And then I started accumulating the rest of them, the Dark Summer and then the Deadly Woods from Revolution Games. That's the same series, but different name, as well as the sort of progenitor of the Dark Series, which is Case Yellow. From GMT, that
you can't get that for love nor money.
No, thankfully for some reason I found a guy on eBay that was giving it away for like dirt cheap prices, like $50, like whatever the asking price for the game was. He just wanted to get rid of it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll take it."
Yeah,
and that was the first game that Ted Racer was really seeming to really work on this sort of chip pull mechanic that then he really mastered in the Dark Valley.
A good series. I mean, I've only got the Dark Summer, but is it a series?
I got the Normandy. Wasn't there a Normandy one?
Yeah. Dark Summer. Yeah.
Dark Summer. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Is it a series per se, or is it a bit like the other big series the Simonich 44 or 40X series. Is it a series or is it just a similar family of games? Because they've all got different rules, haven't they? A true series, in my opinion, is something that has the same rule set that you can apply to any of the games in the series. And it just has a sort of module rules for each module of it. Sure. The only one I can think of is one of my favorites. Panzer Grenadier has one set of rules for the whole thing, and they have just specific rules for the different modules that come with it.
I guess the question comes down to, I mean, what sort of the definition of a rule set, and whether, you know, how specific does it need to be or more abstract?
Are they similar across the Dark series?
Yeah, I would certainly say my opinion is that the Dark is a series that each of the games, that while they're different, there is a lot of similarities, particularly with like attack and defense and the way that it is portrayed in the game. And as well as the biggest thing I think that makes it a series is each of the games has to do with the chit pull mechanic.
So what you're saying is if you master one, it'll be easier to play the others in the series because they have a sort of similarity between them. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's mentioned just now by Ian. The other one that fits series proper, there is no proper thing, but with one set of rules is the last 100 yards. The only problem with this is you have the last 100 yards rules version 1, the last 100 yards rules volume version 2, and then 2.5 or whatever it is. They keep tweaking it, so it's annoying that the rules don't stay standard.
I just got the last 100 yards, the first one, not too long ago. Whenever GMT did the last reprint
that's when I got it. That's when, because I had the airborne one first, and then I got the first one, and then the third one. But you have to use the third one rules for the other two, and also some of the player aids. You have to use them for the other two as well. They've slightly adjusted them. So I didn't know that. That's sort of gets in my core a bit. Don't you think?
Here's what I have to say, and I play a lot of games. I mean, I played 387 different games last year, Nate. So I play a lot of different games.
You played more than I could keep up with watching on YouTube. So
I know.
Plays more than I own.
I know. I'll do 187 games last year. 147 were brand new, never before played games. Anyways, there's a lot more series games out there than you think. Yeah, I can sit here and see many of them sitting here. We have the Tank Duel series because now there's 3 or 4 in that game series. We have the Tank Leader series, and for those of you who don't know what that series is, I can get the box out. It's an old series from West End Games.
And again, the rules. You see, that's the other thing. Like you say, what was the one you mentioned just a second ago? The Tank Duel.
Tank Duel.
There's expansions for it, but set games. I mean, Panzer is now a series. It wasn't before because they brought out the basic game and the expansions. But now they've got out Panzer and North Africa. That's now a series because it uses the same rule set. Whereas I'm not sure Tank Duel, there's expansions, aren't they? You have only one. Am I incorrect?
Tank Duel Mediterranean.
That uses the same rule set, or does it use its own rules?
It uses the same rule set.
Right, but then yes,
I am assuming that I am assuming at least that the games that are in the series, either Panzer or Tank Duel, that at least there's tweaks in each game so that it fits the region. So, like for instance, like Tank Duel North Africa is going to be different than Tank Duel out in the Eastern Front or something like that.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, and the same with Panzer. You've got the basic rules, and then you'll go through the scenarios, and there'll be little tweaky things that you can do in it. Exactly the same with Panzer Grenadier. One set of rules, tweaks within the different boxes of scenarios or different theaters or whatever.
Now, would that be the same for, like, for instance, all the leader series? I can imagine it can't be the same because I've never played any of them, so that's why I'm asking.
The overall feel of the game is similar in each of the, like, for instance, Corsair, Zero, and Israeli Air Force leader. They're all very sort of similar with their own sort of different bits in it. So if you played one, you're going to have a good chance to play the other one very easily. The only difference is the Dean, what's his surname? The B-17 and Spruance leader. Same name as me, Dean, but they're similar but different to the leader series. And then the Tiger leader ones are similar to the air leader ones, but there's differences. So I'm not sure if they're a series as such or just a family of games, with similar rules. The other one I can think
of. Old School Tactical, that's a good point. Somebody brought up Old School Tactical. Old School Tactical.
Yes, that's series that I use.
I'm going to say Combat Commander because you use Combat Commander, Combat Commander Pacific, Combat Commander Mediterranean. They all use the same rule set, but they're all different.
Lock and Load Tactical Series is a great example. They do use the same rules for all the different things. Again, with just tweaks depending on what theater you're doing or what module you've got.
And I think I would generally agree with what Meandering Mike said, that it's a series of games as having multiple standalone games that have at least 80% rule standardization. I think that's probably close to accurate. Or there's tweaks in each game, but there's enough similarity where I don't need to more or less read the whole rule book to play the game.
Well, what do you think about Great Battles of History? That's a fantastic series, which I've got many of, but they don't have standalone rules. But they're very similar with the things like the trumping and the activations of the leaders and all that sort of thing. So I would say, yes, if you've played one Great Battles of History, you're going to have an easier time with another game in that series. This is the
it was similar. It was a great experience when I was particularly getting into the Dark series, where each next Dark game that I would get, all I would do is pull out the playbook and go through the example of play. And then when I'm done, I know everything I need to know to play the game, as opposed to just reading the whole rule book again.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that's good. And it's the same, I would suspect, with the Simonich 40X games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're different, and they're different enough to be standalone, if you like. But once you've played one, you've got an idea of how his brain works with like Zoptons and things.
There are different games in that series, though, where it's an easier on-ramp into the series.
Yeah, I think things like Salerno is one of those because it's smaller and there's not so many of the fiddliness.
Or even like the new North Africa 41, where it doesn't use any Zocbons. So if you're used to that and then you go to, say, Salerno, your mind might be doing things differently.
The problem with that is, of course, it's an earlier game.
I think the legend begins. I think
different name and everything before he got into the sort of 40X things. So but that's interesting. Wing Leader, another big series of games, uses the same rules, I believe.
Nations at War.
Nations at War, yes. World at War 85. We have
the what do they call it for Inferno and
Levy Campaign.
The Levy Campaign.
Next War series, exactly. The thing with that again is every time they bring out a new one, Mitch keeps tweaking the rules, so you have to use those, which is fair enough. If you buy the next one, you use the base rules as the one for every other one before. It's retro Dubreed, what they call it.
Now there is one that we all know that it started as just one, but it's now turned into a series, and that is A Most Fearful Sacrifice. Now there's going to be another game on, I think it's Chattanooga.
And it uses the same rule set?
Same, as far as I know, it's the same rule set.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for sure. It's also based on another game that's part of a series as well.
Flying Swords.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rocket Chickamauga.
Of course, one of my favorites.
Warfighter.
Groucho, yeah, Warfighter.
Chickamauga, not Chattanooga. Yes.
The only problem with that game is
here's the thing.
Is the
I couldn't probably name like maybe 10 games that I know that aren't part of a series. Series are more common than games that aren't part of a series. Like even Atlantic Chase is part of a series. They're coming out with Pacific Chase now.
Yeah. So I dare say it won't be the same rules because different things will be applying in the Pacific than it did in
probably, but
yeah, once you've played one, you'll play the other one.
Can you think of a game that's not part of a series at all? Like a standalone game that's like there's no other games.
RAF.
That's a good one.
Or War and Peace.
War and Peace. Okay.
War and Peace. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Things like Red Storm, the most complex game I've ever played. That's in a series now. I'm thinking
that's kind of what they do is they release a game, and if it sells well, they just create the next one in the series.
I would prefer it if they would keep the rules, standard. So when you get one, it's easy to learn the next one. That's the thing.
It wouldn't surprise me if, for how well it's been received, that Downfall doesn't turn into a series.
Really? Yeah. What do you do? What's your thoughts? What are they going to do with that, do you think, Nate?
I mean, the game runs from November 1942 to May of 45.
The reason I ask, because I've got it, but it's still in shrink wrap. I haven't opened the bloody thing yet, so I don't know anything about it.
One of the thoughts that someone had was that maybe going back earlier,
39 to 42.
Yeah. Or someone thought about trying to do maybe a Pacific version where there was like instead of the Japanese versus the Americans, it was the Japanese Army and the Japanese Navy versus the American Army and the American Navy kind of thing in there. So I don't know.
Let's hope not, because these people are just out to get money out of us, and it's terrible. And they should be stopped. But the other good one is, I think Gilbert's Revolutionary War game is on its own. Another one that's a series, of course, you've got great Battles of the American Civil War, which uses the same sort of rule set, which is great, as does Men of Iron series, uses the same rule set. Great Battles of the American Revolution uses the same rule set. So apart from each battle has its own little set of rules, but the basic rules are all the same. So as you say, there's...
Now, I will say for instance, for Gilbert Collins or for America, which is brilliant. I love that game. I've played it probably at least a dozen times.
It solos well?
Very well. Very, very well. That game, there is bits of the game where he pulled it from the U.S. Civil War, from GMT, from Mark Simonitz.
Oh, yes, from Simonitz, yeah.
Yeah, there's bits of the game that are familiar if you've ever played that.
I'm looking at it seriously because I do like me Revolutionary War, because I just think but if only, but they're nearly, not quite. But anyway,
it is very, very good. I can't speak highly enough about it.
Because I do love the Battles of the American Revolution. Some say it is a simple game.
Point Blank. That's not part of a series.
No, quite right. Are coin games part of a series? I've not played many. Is there a similarity?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very similar. Especially the first 6. The first 6 are very similar. Then they started to branch out a little bit and try different things, but the first 6 are very interchangeable.
You see, there's a new series out which I'm editing the unboxing of. I've still got to do it. I know I'm terrible.
Point Blank, Nate, is from Lock and Load.
Cheers. Oh, crikey. Hold on. Let me get back. Hold on. Cheers. Oh, cheers. Is this series?
Yeah.
The first in the new series of irregular conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not sure if they're trying to pull the wool over my eyes, saying it's not coin, but it's sort of based on coin. But it's, well, we've got 2, but I think it's coin with a bit more battling in it. But I'm quite keen to try it because I'm this period of history I know nothing about. I'm not sure if it's going to be popular with peeps because it's a part of history that most people aren't familiar with. So we'll have to see. But it does look nice, and it reminds me much of the British way in its smallness. It's got a nice small map, good components as always.
I've
Nate,
not
you
played
got this
the first
one?
I'd love to play it.
You got this one, Nate?
I don't know.
Why? Well, you've got 2 copies. Send one to Nate.
All right, I'll send him one.
Well, why have you got 2? So, no, joking. Why have you got 2?
Because I was like, oh, this is cool. I need to pre-order this game.
I've nearly done that so many times.
I'm like, oh, this is cool. I need to pre-order this game. And I'm also got 2 copies of France coming for some reason now.
That happened to me this week, and I had to email GMT, and they took care of it.
Yeah, I've ordered that as well with the mounted map. I'm a sucker for mounted maps.
I'm looking to sell this one. I will sign it $200. If you're interested, email me.
Yeah, you'll get inundated with offers. Here's another series which I never got into. Didn't appeal to me. The Levian campaign. I'm not sure if that uses the same rules set or what.
This was my favorite one. It's very good.
It's another series that
I
goes
got them
on
all
and on.
except for Netsky. I need to play it, Nate.
Nevsky's interesting. I will say that. It's almost, this one is probably the easiest to get into.
It's the one I want to play. It's the crazy Brits,
it's the one with the worst cover art on it, and everybody seems to like it.
I never understood what this cover has to do with the Wars of the Roses.
Yeah, exactly.
It's set in a different time completely, that picture. So anyway.
It's almost like that artist had naked pictures.
Look, there's a couple of, I just want to mention, there's a couple of people not taking this seriously. Not that one. Sorry, beg your pardon.
Campaign for North Africa.
Checkers. We're going to have to ban them.
Yeah, and this one, so behave yourself, you two. All right.
Pissy cat, come on.
Now,
that's true, but I mean, it's hard to find a game that's not part of a series.
Now, let me
ask. I mean, VUCA, apart from the sort of like the Boog River series, along with Arkan and all that sort of thing, that's a series with a similar set of rules, which are tweaked as it goes on. But they brought out a lot that aren't part of a series, like Bismarck, Task Force, Traces of War, Donna Schlag. Mm-hmm. Another one I can see up there from Compass is Silent War, which we've all got now, I think, which isn't part of a series.
Ruff, can I ask you, how is Knock Paris? Because I've almost ordered it like half a dozen times.
It's not part of a series, I can tell you that.
Well, it is, because there's going to be a Romania one coming out.
Oh, there you go then. I sit corrected. But it's a new designer anyway, so it's going to be his second, if he does it, it's a second one. I struggle with getting into World War One. I've got another series. I'm not sure if the rule books, I haven't gone into them a lot, are very similar. Paths of Glory, that series.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that a similar set of rules, Jester? Because you've got them, haven't you?
Yeah, I got them all.
Is it similar?
Ruff, I'll have something to show you then.
Well, let's see what. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. I would say yes, but it also, I would say no, because the Paths of Glory encompasses the whole world. When you're talking about Paths of
Pursuit of Glory,
and
Illusions of Glory.
you're talking about a smaller region, and so you use the CDG system, but it's different rules and stuff. So I don't know if they're part of a series. That one would be tough.
As soon as I mention something, the buggers bring it out as a series. There you go. Traces of War is going to be a series. There we go. Thank you, Ian.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nate. What were you going to say?
Well, Jester, I was going to ask, have you played all three of the sort of Paths of Glory type?
I played all of them except for Illusions of Glory. I have not played that one.
Okay. Which one do you like? Just regular Paths of Glory, or did you like?
I like Paths of Glory, the original, the best. Yes.
Okay.
The other one,
about it.
Pursuit of Glory, is a little bit finickier. No, a lot more finickier, and it doesn't give you the same feel of grand scale, big epic battles going on. It's more of a East front, West front kind of thing.
It's more sort of guerrilla stuff with local tribes and things. It appeals to me because it's set in that part of the world.
It's still a great game. It's just different. It is. Yeah. It's just not as good. I think they decided, oh, this game sold really well. What can we do to sell another game in the series?
Now, I will say that if I don't necessarily enjoy a lot of CDGs, mainly because I can't keep it all together in my head. As soon as I see a card, I'm ruined. And but the older I get, the easier it gets for me to.
Look at him. He's 30 odd. The older he gets. But the thing with Paths of Glory, the reason I got it, because it's a CDG and it's not very solo friendly. I got it because of Stuka Joe's CDG solo system that's been brought out.
Right.
They've got it for Paths and Pursuit of Glory, which is why I bought them. So one day, hopefully I can sit there and you've tried out the one for Commands and Colors, Jesse. You said it works fantastically well. So I'm hoping
all it does is limit your choices. Like if you got a handful of 7 cards, it's like, oh my God, which one would they play? And I could play this card. All it does is say, oh, he's either going to play this card or he's going to play this card. Which card are you going to play? Yeah. So all it does is kind of narrow down your choices.
Yeah.
And sometimes it makes a choice for you. So, like, most of the cards are going to be face down. So you don't have to, like, oh, which one of these cards would he play? So that's what speeds up the game and makes it play solo friendly, I guess.
I will say I played both Paths of Glory as well as, I don't know if you ever played The Lamps Are Going Out, which is not a series, but it is.
Ooh, we found another one. Yeah.
Similar to Paths of Glory. But it does also include Africa as well as Europe and the Middle East. And that one is not a CDG, but it is very, very good. Very, very good. I've played it several times.
And it's solo friendly? I have to ask because I've got no friends.
Yes, it is very solo friendly. Yes.
Yeah. Again, I'm struggling to get into the First World War stuff. Narc Parish, you asked me about. Thoroughly enjoyed it. We played the whole big thing at PunchCon, which is our one and only much beloved convention of war games rather than miniatures we have over here.
Well, Ruff, I'll show you.
And it was great fun. It was great fun.
When I was first getting into wargaming, I came across these. I first played Paths of Glory because that's what everyone told me to do, is play that when I first got in. And but then I fell down a rabbit hole of Ted Racer games. I really like him as a designer. And these, let's see if I can get the camera.
I was going to mention that one.
These are the non-CDG World War Ones that he did, as well as the Great War in Europe Deluxe Edition. But like, for instance, like this one is both the Western Front in early 1914, but then the entirety of the Eastern Front from 1914 to 1917. And it's a very simple hex and counter war game with a little chrome for each game. And then this one, obviously 1918, 1919 on the Western Front. So
the death knell of the war, yeah, sort of thing.
Yeah. And it does have like a what if the Germans were huddled down in 1918 and didn't try to break through in the Kaiserschlacht. And the war drug on into 1919. So these are some to consider if you're looking into finding World War I as a topic.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't grapple me grape nuts, as somebody used to say. So it doesn't. It should, I know, but
just play Royal Britannia and then you'll be good.
I haven't got that either. So no.
You mean it's a different time. It's
I'm joking. Yeah,
it's a different time.
It's a different type, which is why I like Knack Paris, because it's more of a war game before the trench stuff stalemated. So it's the rush to Paris, and it's like a proper, we got to stop them sort of thing. Them against us, proper war game. The only problem with it
flowed really well.
It did, yeah. The only problem I have with it is that there's a lot of abbreviations. He uses the proper names, the German and the French names for the units. So it's a bit like if you've ever read Dune, Frank Herbert's book, you've got a glossary at the back where, when they say a word in the book in Dune, you have to look at it. Oh, that's what it means. Yeah. It's a bit like that with Knock Paris. It tells you that using an abbreviation in German, you have to look it up. And it tells you what type of unit it is, artillery or infantry or whatever. And that's the only thing. Components are great. Maps are great. It's got some nice little unit, a nice little solitaire, that's the wrong word, a nice little small scenarios on maps so big. So it's not a programmed learning thing. You have to learn the whole rules, but you're only using 20 counters or something rather than 150.
I think you just cost me some money here, Ruff.
Yeah, it's in a big box. It's heavy. There's lots of stuff in it.
You talking about Knack Paris?
Knack Paris, yeah. Have you not played it? You've got that, haven't you, Jester?
I bought it. Very excited to try it, but now I'm wondering if I bit off too much to chew. So
it's a little bit crunchy.
It
but
is.
Not too much.
It's great production. It looks great.
Yeah.
Now, Jester, let me ask this: has there ever been a series where you've jumped into full force, bought everything in the series, went to play with them, and then hated them?
He's put you on the spot, isn't he?
I wouldn't say hate. Hate's a strong word.
Or didn't find you didn't like.
Highly disliked.
Lock and Load Tactical, to be honest. I own every single one of the games, but I just can't get myself to play it because for me, my brain just doesn't work that well solitaire. I can't play. A lot of people will play the tactical both sides. I can't do it. I don't.
Well,
here's the thing. I can do it, but I don't find it fun at all. It's like pain. You're not suffering.
You're not immersed.
Life is way too short to be doing things like that.
Yeah, he's not got
play
this
something else.
psychotic split of the brain that some of us have. I mean, I don't mind doing it, and I hear what you're saying, but now there's no excuse, Jester, because they bring out a solitaire deck for each game that comes out now.
And it's not worth it. Just too much work. Yeah, it's just not worth it.
I mean, have you gone to try their PC version at all?
I play the PC version, yeah.
Okay.
The PC version, actually, I did a whole, I wouldn't say tutorial series, but I kind of introduced it, played some scenarios, showed people how to create.
You're talking about the original PC series years ago, aren't you? That one?
Yeah, I mean, that's how I got into YouTube and back in the day, yeah.
What about the Steam one? The Steam version, digital version of Lock and Load.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, sorry, I think you talked about the original PC game from 1998.
I had also played that as well. Yes, I'm actually one of the few people that still have that original Lock and Load PC game that you bought.
I think you're one of the few people that's done a video on it
and everything. Yes, it's crazy. I know. But the Steam version works great. It's wonderful. I can play that. I find tactical games to be a little finicky solo, and there's a lot to manage. I'm kind of at the point with my board gaming career where for me it's about enjoying the game that I play because I've got enough stuff that I don't need to play things I don't like anymore.
Do you
And I'm in a weird spot. I'm in a weird spot, to be honest.
Yeah, I know you are. Yeah, you're going through one of your phases again, aren't you?
I'm going through a sports phase right now. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm playing just a lot of sports games because, I mean, do you play sports games, Nate?
I've not played any, no, but I'm willing to try them.
Try. I mean, I was never into, and they'd start talking about sports games, and I'd get a book off my then library and start reading it, and online and on air like this. And but now I've got heavily. Well, I say heavily. I enjoy quite a lot baseball now because of these numpties and
today spring training starts today. Right now, there's games going on, Ruff.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to buy up the blooming baseball channel again. But yeah, I play season ticket baseball. I like it, season ticket. It's enough crunchiness for me. It's also free to download and get a couple of teams and all that and get you going.
Oh,
That's okay. But yeah, sports games not general. The other game series I haven't mentioned, I've got it on the table at the moment. Great solo game, Combat! Exclamation
I
mark.
was just going to mention that, Rob.
Yeah,
that's funny.
That's turned into a series because they're bringing. Okay, you had Combat Volume 1, Combat Volume 2, but you had to have Volume 1 to play Volume 2. So I won't call that. That's an expansion. But they're now bringing out a standalone combat set in
version 3.
For the
technically, it's not a series yet because the other one isn't out.
No, it's not yet. And also, I don't think the rules will be the same as there'll be different rules because it's a different. It's airborne. It's the Brits and Brit Too Far and all that sort of thing. So
that's right. It's. I thought it was. They're doing another one on Anzio. I think it might be Combat Volume 4 then.
Yeah, that'll be. Yeah, I love them. It's great. It's frustrating because I can't get to record it a lot at the moment, and also the bloody cat keeps jumping on the table and knocking things askew. So I'm finishing off the fifth part of this, editing it, and that might be the end because most of the Germans are routing. The cowardly crowds are routing. So that might be the end. It's given you an idea. So I can get on with my 10 games then.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Nate. This is Wargame Talk channel, right? We focus on war games. But here's what I will say about sports games. They play within an hour, and they play solo great. So if you're a solo gamer, you can play a game in an hour, put it away, boom, you move on to the next one.
I like that. I'll definitely look them up.
I know what you're saying.
Definitely a lot of first time has gone well. There you go.
Have any of you all ever played, speaking of a series that's been around since time immemorial, it seems like, Great Campaigns of the American Civil War?
No.
I refuse to get into that because that'll be another rabbit hole. Again, I'm struggling with American Civil War games as I enjoy playing them, and I've got a few of them.
Like the Great Battles of the American Civil War?
Great Battles, yeah. I've got...
See, I don't know the difference between them because I don't own them, so I don't know.
They're crunchy.
There.
I mean, if you want a sort of scale of series, you've got Men of Iron, nice and easy to pick up, and including in that sort of thing. Well, I think Battles of the American Civil War might even be easier than Men of Iron. And then you've got maybe Musket and Pike, which is turning into a series.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Great Battles of History. And then we've got Great Battles of American Civil War, crunchiness.
Where does SPQR fit in there?
That's Great Battles of History, isn't it? So
okay, see,
yeah. Then there's SPQR. Then there's Great Battles of Julius Caesar. Then there's
Alexander that's just come out. Alexander's been recruited. I've got War Galley, Cataphract, and the Devil's Horseman in the series as well. So I've got quite a few of them. I enjoy them. And I've got to play one as my 10 games on my channel. So
Now, since those are GBOH's tactical, for since I like more operational, I found these.
There you go.
The Ancient World Series from Richard Berg, still from TMC from back in the day. And like the first one, Rise of the Roman Republic, basically covers Italy with the Samnite Wars and the Pyrrhic Wars and like that. And then Carthage is the first Punic War. But then on P500 now is Thunderbolt, which covers.
I had P500 that to see what it's like, to have a little look, little look to it's any good. The other thing is with Cataphracts, you get the other game, which is a strategic game.
Yeah, on Justinian. Yeah.
So
the one thing with the Ancient War series, I have, well, it's the same thing every time I buy a new war game, is take it out, clip it all and everything, lay it out.
Sorry. Can you just rewind what you said there? You take it out and clip it.
Clip all the counters.
You're a clipper, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
look, he's shaking his head. Look, he's shaking his head.
He's the clipper. You own the snow shovel?
What's that?
Do you own the snow shovel?
I've bought 3 of them.
Okay. I don't. I had 2 of them and they broke. I've got the metally one now. So
yeah. But every time I pull out a game and I try to play it, and I, for some reason, usually can't figure it out on my own, and I get mad and I put it back in the box, and then like 3 days later I pull it back out. And I have tried a couple dozen times with the Ancient World series, and I do like it, but the rule book from back in the day was just not really well put together, and so I'm kind of waiting for Thunderbolt for the new rule book, so I can get fully into the whole series.
That? Sorry. I think we might need to just delete that one. I was trying to get Camp's thing up about... there we are. At any cost was the first time the blind source system was used. I'm glad they are reprinting that because it looks a great game. And I know Herman's very proud of that one.
And there's not many games on the Franco-Prussian War at all.
No,
either.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, my problem is I just I'm a crossover gamer, so I play war games, I play sports games, I play board games, and I catered to 60% board games, 20% sports, 20% war. So of my 20% wargaming time, I'm very picky about what I play because I don't play it that often. So I have to really focus in on playing the ones that I really, really want to play, which is unfortunate because I own a boatload of them. I just don't get around to playing them very much.
Sorry, Nate. It must be you. We're getting some weird comments coming in, and I think you must be drawing them in. They've looked at your history, I think. And
that's right.
They're like, "Oh, who is this guy?"
Yeah, we're getting them all in tonight. It must be a slow night on the telly. So apologies. Yeah, we're getting them all in tonight. Yeah, see what I mean? So
there's women out there? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
God, they're all in tonight. I think there's a group of them. I think they've come. What's the time? Oh, you know what? It's kick-out time at the pub. They've all come back, a group of mates.
Oh, that's what it is.
Let's harass these people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So apologies, peeps. They're not my friends, all right? Even though I recognise a few of those names.
Don't forget, we're going to be closing the opportunity for you to come on the show and become a co-host if you're interested. You have till tomorrow to email me because Ruff and me, we want to get this done and over with. We appreciate Hissy Cat from last week. We appreciate Nate. If you want your name in the running, then you need to contact me soon so we can get you on and schedule you because we want to get this done and over with. So just thought I would mention that one last time.
Go and have a look at it. See if it's it needs to be. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's weird. It's people were waiting for this, and all of a sudden they decided to reprint it, and nobody P500 it. So what is going on there? That's a little weird.
There's been a few like that on the P500. It's just languishing forever.
Yeah, the one you mentioned earlier that you've got, the CDG one. What about the map on the back of
Barbarossa
it?
to Berlin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching. Oh God Almighty! I don't know what the problem is. It's obviously bots were being targeting us. It's because we're so big, because we're so huge,
That's it. We're
we're getting noticed by the bots.
The spammers coming out tonight.
Yeah, they're coming out in all. Yeah, it's quite funny because it's in some ways it's a nice pat on the back that we're doing so well. You see. Oh
yeah,
God!
Yeah, because they don't know that we can like instantaneously block them.
Just tell them to smash that like button before.
Yeah,
please smash that like button before you.
I should. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, Mark, before you go, can you push the like button? Thank you. Bye.
Lovely. Yeah, push that like button, you idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, so apologies, chaps. We're just tonight's our night of being
the burden of being popular. Yes, I know. The loonies are all out tonight. Yes.
They certainly are.
I mean, I wish I had a life where I had nothing better to do than go around and try to spam other people and talk while they're having a meeting and talking about things.
Yeah. Julie, just hit the like button before I ban you. Thank you. Bye. Oh God, they're just in. Yeah, I think it's just bots that have taken over the channel. Yeah. Oh God, they're using biological terms now. Right. So we've had a good chat about series, and actually I've learned a lot.
Do you want to introduce your YouTube channel?
I was going to say, we've talked about the series games. We've had some great chat about that. So just before we wrap up, Nate, yes, talk about your channel.
So my channel is called the Board Game Bunker, and me and a friend of mine have been talking through both war games and Euro games. And I did one not too long ago on France 1944 from Compass Games, which is a redo of Victor Games from Mark Herman. And I walk people through of what the game is like, because there is a possibility that will turn into a series, depending on how people receive the game. So, but yes, that's my channel, Board Game Bunker.
Great. And hopefully you'll continue going with that and continue with your friend. And your friend is a Euro gamer, so he plays more of the Euro games. Yep. And you're kind of introducing war games to him and trying to
the same to me.
Crossover games.
Yep. Like at some point, I know we're going to be playing Brass Birmingham together.
Sorry.
I had to say it because you were here.
So I'm still busily getting people out of the chat here. You know, and as you say, it's probably one person. It's not Birmingham, please. Do not
Birmingham. I know
Birmingham.
Yes, and
I know you do it to wind me up like the others do.
Oh yes, and I mean, because I love ancient Rome, I've been really wanting to play Concordia as well. I've heard that's very good.
Concordia, yes. It is very interesting that there are a lot of Euro gamers that won't play war games. There's a lot of war gamers that won't play Euro games, but that there is a lot of games that sit in that gray area where the two cross over between one another.
Yeah.
And one of the most popular games in history, Twilight Struggle, is a war-themed Euro game. It's one of the most popular games in existence. It was number one in Board Game Geek for a long, long time. It's not number one for a reason. It is a very popular, great game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there can be, and even Herman's come onto our show, and he's talked about how he's taken game design from Euro games and incorporated it into his designs into war games.
Yeah. And I mean, my friend that I have done the channel with, I introduced him. His first war game I introduced to was Atlantic Chase, and he really did like it a lot. But then he really loves the American Revolution era. So I had him play War for America. And, we played an entire day. He loved it so much. I was quite impressed with how quickly he got into a more of a, I guess you could call it a actual war game, and was very impressed of just how easy that someone with a more Eurogame background could easily jump into that. Because I know it took me.
I think what we need now is some other sort of what do you call them to help me out here. I'm just I'm just trying to get rid of all this crap that's coming in.
Well, I tell you, we haven't had this problem in years.
I don't know. If
YouTube spam botter system is knocked down or if there's a problem, but we haven't had this problem in years and years and years. Because YouTube decided
what do they call
to actually do something about it. So
we need some of the guys to make them give them the little hammer. Yeah, what do they call them? Admins.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give them the hammer. Give them the hammer, Ruff.
Hold on.
We'll just block everyone. That's it. So, anyways, next week I will be hosting.
They can't even spell. Dear, oh dear. Yeah, maybe call it a night, guys, because it's now 1:58. So, apologies for the sad people that have been coming into the chat. I think they need to get a life. Maybe they need to get a girlfriend.
Nothing better to do.
I think they need a girlfriend, or he needs a girlfriend.
I don't know, Ruff.
Yeah.
I mean, our wives would not be very happy with us if we got our girlfriends.
No. I mean, the guy that's pasting all this stuff. I think he needs to get a girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant us. Oh, there.
No, not us.
Right there. There's my girlfriend right there. Hi, girlfriend.
Anyway, let's wrap this up. Nate, what do you got on the show coming up? Anything on your YouTube coming up? Or are you just going to be playing offline or what?
I'll just be playing offline for right now. So continuing to play War and Peace.
Sounds great. Jester.
Well, tonight I was again going to play the Plum Island Horror, but I might just postpone that. It's rescheduled to another night since nobody seemed to be too interested in doing it tonight. I don't know, Saturday night's a bad night or whatever. I got a lot of other things I could be doing, so that's fine. We'll be doing stuff. I mean, I've got stuff. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be starting this. I swear I'm going to start it. I swear I'm going to start it because it's going to take me a year or two to play it. So I'm only going to be doing like every Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to do like a card or two, slow play it, really slow, like really slow. So, and what else is coming up? What else? I think that's about it. I'm excited to just hang out and talk. Thanks so much for coming out, Nate.
Yeah, thanks, Nate. I mean,
one way or the other, you've been a great host. We'll definitely have you back. One way, like I said, even if you don't get the spot, I would definitely love to have you come back sometime. Definitely love to keep in touch and all that. I'm not saying you didn't get the job. I'm just saying, I would.
Right.
We're going to need somebody. Like,
unless I buy that game for $200. Right?
People are going, and we're going to be going soon. If you haven't clicked that like button, just do it now, please. Thank you so much, because I think it's broken. Yeah. Thanks, Nate. Thanks to the chat. Thanks to everybody for putting up with some loony that's been spamming us. So hopefully that won't happen again if YouTube get their act together. But thanks as always. Yeah, thanks, Nate. Thanks, Jester. And we hope to see you all very soon. So thanks for joining.
Likes. Nice.
And 32. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. So we'll see you all very soon. Till then, we love you all. And there's nothing you can do about it.